Hi students, welcome back to all 4 C learning classes. In last class, we discussed about the angle between the two circles, orthogonally intersecting circles, radical axis and its properties. Now in this session, we continue the concept of radical axis and its properties. Okay? Please note this theorem. The radical axis of 3 circles whose centers are non-collinear taken in pair are congruent. The radical axis of 3 circles whose centers are non-collinear taken in pair are congruent. Okay? Suppose S is equal to 0 comma S dash is equal to 0 are 2 circles, then what is the radical axis? Radical axis is nothing but simply S minus S dash is equal to 0. The definition of the radical axis is the locus of the points which are equal powers with respect to the 2 circles. That radical axis equation is S minus S dash is equal to 0. Suppose the 2 circles are in this way, they are separate to each other, the radical axis lies in between these two values. Suppose the 2 circles are intersecting, what is the radical axis? Common chord. If the 2 circles are touch each other internally or externally, radical axis is nothing but common tangent at the point of contact. Suppose the circles are one of the circles away from the another circle, the radical axis lies in between these two values. That means every point on the radical axis lies outside of the circle or inside or outside of the circle. Please observe these points. On the circle here, outside of the circle, lies on inside or outside or on the circle. Okay? Suppose the radical axis, in this case, the radical axis of 3 circles whose centers are non-collinear taken in pair or congruent. That means, suppose C1, C2, C3 be the centers of 3 circles. It is C1, it is one of the circle. It is C2, it is another circle. It is C3. Here C1, C2, C3 forms a triangle, non-collinear points. Okay. In this case, suppose this value is S is equal to 0, this value is S dash is equal to 0, this is S double dash is equal to 0. What is the radical axis of this value? S minus S dash is equal to 0. The radical axis for the first pair of 2 circles is S minus S dash is equal to 0. The radical axis for second pair is S dash minus S double dash is equal to 0. This line, it is L1, it is L2. Third line is radical axis for the remaining 2 circles is S double dash minus S is equal to 0. Okay. This is one of the line L1, this is L2, this is L3. Here, there are 3 radical axes. For 3 circles, for getting 1 radical axis for every 2 circles. That means we get total 3 radical axes. These 3 radical axes are congruent. Suppose the 3 lines are congruent, suppose L1 is equal to 0, L2 is equal to 0, L3 is equal to 0 are 3 congruent lines. What is the condition? Lambda 1 into L1 plus lambda 2 into L2 plus lambda 3 into L3 is equal to 0, where lambda 1, lambda 3 are parameters, then these 3 lines are congruent. Okay. By using that property, we prove this value. Okay. In the first case, the radical axis of the first 2 circles is L1 is S minus S dash is equal to 0. Second one is S dash minus S double dash is equal to 0. Third one is S double dash minus S is equal to 0. Please observe these points. By adding these 3 values, we get S cancel, S dash cancel, S double dash cancel. That means L1 plus L2 plus L3 is equal to 0. That means 1 into L1 plus 1 into L2 plus 1 into L3 is equal to 0. Please observe this equation. It is in the form of lambda 1 L1 plus lambda 2 L2 plus lambda 3 L3 is equal to 0. That means L1, L2, L3 are congruent. Okay, please note this diagram. Please note the diagram. Proof. Let S is equal to 0 comma S dash is equal to 0 comma S double dash is equal to 0 be 3 given circles whose centers are C1 comma C2 comma C3 respectively. Here C1, C2, C3 are non-collinear. Okay. Next, radical axis for pair of circles. L1 is S minus S dash is equal to 0. It is for 1 and 2. L2 S dash minus S double dash is equal 0, L3 S double dash minus S is equal 0. Please note these three equations. Now 1 into L1 plus 1 into L2 plus 1 into L3 is equal to, write these values, that value, all values are cancelled, that implies 1 into L1 plus 1 into L2 plus 1 into L3 is equal 0. It is in the form of lambda 1 L1 plus lambda 2 L2 plus lambda 3 L3 is equal 0. Therefore, the three lines L1, L2, L3 are congruent. That means the radical axis of three circles whose centers are non-collinear taken in pair are congruent. Okay, very, very important property. This point of congruency is said to be radical center. Next we will discuss about this point. The point of congruency is said to be radical center. Please note this point. Next one. Suppose in this case, the centers of the circles are collinear. What is the condition? Here, the centers of the circles are non-collinear. Suppose the centers of the circles are collinear, that means they lies on the same line. It is C1, it is C2, it is C3. This is one of the circle, this is one of the circle, this is one of the circle. What are the radical axes of these three circles whose centers are collinear? Whose centers are collinear taken in pair or dash? They are parallel. Please observe this point. Suppose C1 comma C2 are centers of first two circles. This is S is equal 0, this is S dash is equal 0. The radical axis is always perpendicular to line joining centers. This is L1 is perpendicular to line joining C1, C2. Perpendicular to line joining C1, C2. Next, radical axis of second and third circles is L2. This is perpendicular to line joining C2 and C3. Next, radical axis for circles C1 and C3 is in this way for 1 and 3 circles. This is also perpendicular. Please observe this point. L1, L2, L3 are perpendicular to the line joining center C1, C2, C3. That means this is perpendicular to this value, this is perpendicular. That means these three are parallel. These three are parallel. Please note this point. The radical axis of three circles whose centers are collinear, taken in pair or parallel. Parallel. Very, very important point. Note point. Please note this diagram also. It is the first radical axis, it is the second, it is the third. These three are parallel. Okay. Next, radical center. Radical center. The point of congruency of radical axis is said to be radical center. It can be denoted by R. This is one of the circle, S is equal 0. It is S dash is equal 0. S double dash is equal 0. The radical axis for the first two circles is this value, L1. This is L2. This is L3. All of these three lines are congruent. This point of congruency is said to be radical center. It can be denoted by R. Please note this point. Radical center. The point of congruency of the radical axis of three circles whose centers are non-collinear, taken in pairs is called radical center of the given circles. Radical center of the given circles. Okay. The power of the radical center of three circles, with respect to the each of the three circles are equal. Please observe this point. Suppose this is the radical axis. For every point on this circle, power of the point with respect to this point, with respect to these two circles are equal. S11 is equal to S dash 11. If P moves on this value up to this value, any point on this line, S11 is equal to S11. Suppose the point P lies on this line L2, S dash 11 is equal to S double dash 11. Suppose the point lies on L3, then S11 is equal to S double dash 11. It is the common point for all the three circles. Suppose P value is this value. So P is equal to R. The power of the point with respect to this value is S11, this S11. These two are equal. With respect to this value, S dash 11, S double dash 11. These two are equal. That means the power of radical center of three circles with respect to each of three circles is equal. Very, very important point. Okay. Next. Theorem. Note this statement. The center of a circle cutting two circles, the center of a circle cutting two circles orthogonally lies on the radical axis of the given circles. Radical axis of the given circles. Okay, the center of a circle cutting two circles orthogonally lies on the radical axis of the given circles. Suppose it is the given circle, one of the circle s is equal 0, it is another circle s dash is equal 0. Say these two values are two circles, these are two circles. Suppose another circle cuts these two circles orthogonally, that means the angle between the first circle and this circle is 90 degrees, the angle between this circle and this circle is 90 degrees. There will be many circles, many possibilities in this way, but the locus of all of these centers lies on the radical axis of the given two circles. Radical axis is nothing but s minus s dash is equal 0. We can prove the locus of the center of this third circle must be lies on the radical axis of the given two circles. Okay. First note this diagram. This is the circle s is equal 0. This is the circle s dash is equal to 0. This is the required circle. Now we find the locus of this circle. Say p x1 comma y1 be the locus of the required circle and r be the radius of that circle. Let s is equal to x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. S dash is equal to x square plus y square plus 2g dash x plus 2f dash y plus c dash is equal to 0 be two given circles. Two given circles. These are fixed. This is given, this is given. Now we find the another circle. This circle cuts the given circles orthogonally. Okay. Let p x1 comma y1 be the center. Now we find the center locus. So we take p x1 y1. Let p x1 y1 be the center of third circle and r be the radius of this circle and r be the radius of this circle. It cuts the given two circles orthogonally. It cuts the given circles orthogonally. Okay. Now the equation of the third circle is x minus h whole square means x minus x1 whole square plus y minus y1 whole square is equal to r square. After expansion x square plus y square minus 2x1x minus 2y1y plus x1 square plus y1 square minus r square is equal to 0. It is the equation number 3. It is 1, it is 2, it is 3. But from the given, this circle cuts first circle and second circle orthogonally. That means 1 and 3 are orthogonally. If the two circles intersect orthogonally, what is the condition? 2 of gg dash plus ff dash is equal to c plus c dash. By using that property, we can find the locus of this center, circle center. Okay. Now, our since 1 and 3 intersect orthogonally. Therefore, 2 into gg dash plus ff dash is equal to c plus c dash. What is this value? 2 into, what is the g value? G, f, c values are as usual. Here g dash means here 2g dash is equal to minus 2x1. That means g dash is equal to, here g dash is equal to minus x1, f dash is equal to minus y1, c dash is equal to x1 square plus y1 square minus r square. Okay, please observe these points. Compare this value with x square plus y square plus 2g dash x plus 2f dash y plus c dash. That implies 2 into g of minus x1 plus f of minus y1 is equal to c means c dash means x1 square plus y1 square minus r square. It is equation number 4. Okay. Next, similarly, 2 and 3 are also intersecting orthogonally. 2 and 3 cuts orthogonally. Therefore, 2 into gg dash plus ff dash is equal to c plus c dash. Here, g of c means second circle is g dash, f dash, c dash. Again, g dash, f dash, c dash means these values. So, that implies 2 into g of g dash of, what is the value of g dash? Minus x1 plus f dash of minus y1 is equal to c dash, okay, c dash plus x1 square plus y1 square minus r square. It is equation number 5. It is equation number 5. By subtracting these 4 and 5 equations, we eliminate the value of r. After eliminating r is the radius, it is the variable. By eliminating r, we get the locus in x1, y1. By subtracting 4 and 5, we get the required locus. Subtracting 4 minus 5. That means 2 minus 2 of g dash x1, g dash minus g dash x1. What is this value? Plus g of x1. Okay. Plus f dash 4 minus 5, f of minus f y1, next plus f dash y1 is equal to c minus c dash. Please observe this point, c minus c dash, x1 square y1 square r square cancelled. Here x1 square y1 square r square cancelled, plus 0. Okay. That value is equal to, okay, next that implies 2 of gx1 minus g dash x1 means x1 is the common term, g minus g dash into x1 plus f minus f dash into y1 is equal to c minus c dash. It is in terms of x1, y1. Therefore, required locus is 2 of g minus g dash into x plus f minus f dash into y is equal to c minus c dash. It is nothing but s minus s dash is equal to 0. The locus of this x1, y1 center is 2 into g minus g dash into x plus f into y, f dash minus y is equal to c minus c dash. Okay. It is nothing but s minus s dash is equal to 0. S minus s dash is equal to 0. That is radical axis. If the circle cuts the given two circles orthogonally, then the locus of this center must be lies on radical axis. It is the radical axis. Very, very, very important property. Very, very, very important. Please note this point. Okay, sir. Okay, next point. Suppose s is equal to 0 is one of the circle and s dash is equal to 0 is another circle. The circle which cuts the three circles orthogonally, then the locus of the center of the third circle must be lies on radical axis of these circles. Please observe this point. This is one of the circle, this is another circle, this is third circle, s dash is equal to 0. Suppose the circle, another circle, fourth circle cuts these three circles orthogonally. The fourth circle cuts these three circles orthogonally. What is the center of this circle? Please observe this point. The circle which cuts the given two circles orthogonally, then locus of center lies on the radical axis. That means the radical axis of 1 and 2 is this value. Center of this circle must be lies on this value. Suppose the fourth circle cuts second and third circles orthogonally, then the center of this circle must be lies on radical axis of 2 and 3 circles. Okay. Similarly, if this fourth circle cuts 1 and 3 orthogonally, the center of the circle must be lies on radical axis of 1 and 3 circles. But these radical axes are always concurrent. Radical axis of these three circles are concurrent. That point of concurrency is said to be radical center. That point of contact is said to be, this point of concurrency is said to be radical center. Okay. It is the radical center. That means the center of the circle which cuts the given three circles must be radical center of the given three circles. Very, very important point. Okay, radical center of these three circles is nothing but the center of the circle which cuts the given three circles orthogonally. Okay, next, please observe this point. It is the required circle. It is the required circle. Center is already, P is the radical center. Already by solving these two radical axes, we get this value. Okay. If we find the radius, automatically we get the equation of this fourth circle. What is the radius? Radius is nothing but the distance from center to any point on the circle. Here, this is one of the point. This is one of the point. All of these are points. This is nothing but, what is this value? Please join this value. This is nothing but power of the point with respect to the circle. It is nothing but length of the tangent. It is nothing but length of the tangent. Root S11. This value is nothing but root S11. It is nothing but root S dash 11. It is nothing but root S double dash 11. But all of these are equidistant. All of these are equidistant from the radical axis. That means S11 is equal to S dash 11 is equal to S double dash 11. Powers of radical axis with respect to the three given circles are equal. That means root of S11 is equal to root of S dash 11 is equal to root S double dash 11. That means radius of this required circle is equal to R is equal to root S11 or root s dash 1 1 or root s double dash 1 1 1. Okay, by using the center and radius we get the equation of the circle which cuts the given three circles orthogonally. Very very important concept. Okay, please note this point. The center of the circle cutting three circles orthogonally is the center of the circle cutting three circles orthogonally is the radical center of three circles. The radius of the circle cutting these three circles orthogonally is the radius of the circle cutting these three circles orthogonally is the length of the tangent from radical center to any of three circles. Any of three circles. Next, second one. Let P be the radical center of three circles and R be the length of the tangent from P to any of three circles. Then the circle with the center P and the radius R cuts the three circles orthogonally. Please note this diagram. This is one of the circle, first circle is second circle, is third circle. Radical center is nothing but center of the required circle. Say this is the fourth circle, it is the required value. It is the required circle. The center of the circle which cuts the given three circles orthogonally is radical center. Okay. R is the nothing but center of the required circle. Radius is equal to length of the tangent. S11, S dash 1, all of these are equal. So R is equal to root S11 or root S dash 11 or S double dash 11. Please note this diagram. Okay. Next, please note this point. Length of the common chord. Length of the common chord. Suppose S is equal 0 comma S dash is equal 0 are two intersecting circles and they are intersecting at PQ. Then this length is said to be length of the chord. Here the line passing through PQ is said to be common chord. If the two circles are intersecting, what is the equation of the common chord? Common chord is nothing but radical x. That means this equation is nothing but S minus S dash is equal 0. Now we find length of this chord. If this chord length is said to be, this is the chord for this circle and this circle. So it is said to be length of the common chord. Please note these points. Length of the common chord. Let the two circles S is equal 0 comma S dash is equal 0 are intersecting at capital A comma capital B. Capital A comma capital B. Then AB is called length of the chord. AB is called length of the chord. Equation of the common chord AB is equation of common chord. AB equation is S minus S dash is equal 0. Third point, length of the common chord AB is equal to 2 root R1 square minus D1 square. That is equal to 2 root R2 square minus D2 square. Here R1 comma R2 are radii of the two given circles. D1 is the perpendicular distance from first circle center to this common chord AB. This is D1. D1 is the perpendicular distance from center of the first circle C1 to chord AB. And D2 is equal to perpendicular distance from center C2 to the common chord AB. Okay. It is the length of the common chord. Please observe this point. If it is one of the circle and it is the chord, what is the length of this chord? Length of the chord is nothing but 2 root R square minus D square. It is one circle. It cuts this line cuts the circle at 2 points. It is said to be length of the chord. Here length of the chord is nothing but 2 root R square minus D square. R is the radius of the given circle. D is the perpendicular distance from center to the given chord. In this case, the chord length AB is same for by using the first circle or by using the second circle. In this case, suppose we find the length of the chord by using the first circle, then length of the chord is equal to 2 root R square minus D square means R is nothing but radius of the first circle is R1 square. The distance from first center to this chord is nothing but D1. Okay. Similarly, the length of the chord by using the second circle is 2 root R square minus D square. Here R means R2. D is nothing but perpendicular distance from second circle center to this chord D2. 2 root R2 square minus D2 square. Very, very important. length of the common chord is equal to 2 root r1 square minus d1 square or 2 root r2 square minus d square, both are equal. Okay, next, second point. Next, second point. Let R1 comma R2 be the radii of the two intersecting circles. R1 comma R2 be radii of two intersecting circles and theta be the angle between the two circles. Then length of the common chord is equal to 2 R1 R2 sin theta by root over R1 square plus R2 square plus 2 R1 R2 cos theta. Very, very, very important. In previous case, if the two circles equations are given, then we find the length of the common chord. In this case, radii and angle between the two circles are given. Then length of the common chord is equal to 2 R1 R2 sin theta by root over R1 square plus R2 square plus 2 R1 R2 cos theta. Proof. Suppose this is one of the circle, this is another circle. These two are intersecting at A and B. This length of AB is nothing but length of the chord. Okay. Say it is the circle center C1. It is the center C2 by joining C1, C2. Here the common point is A, point of intersection is A and B. At A, suppose the tangent meets the line joining centers at T1. The tangent at A to the first circle meets at T2. This angle is said to be theta, angle between the two circles, or angle between the two tangents is nothing but angle between the two circles. If theta is the angle T1A, T2, then what is the value of C1A, C2? Already we proved in angle between the two circles. This value is nothing but, this total angle is nothing but 180 minus theta. Angle C1A, C2 is equal to 180 minus theta. Please observe this point. This is theta, this angle is 90 minus theta. This angle is automatically 90 minus theta. Okay, 90 minus theta plus theta means 90. 90 plus 90 minus theta means 180 minus theta. Angle C1A, C2, this angle is equal to, this total angle is equal to 180 minus theta. Okay. Now, in the triangle C1P, C2, please observe this diagram. It is the A, C1, C2. It is nothing but R1, it is nothing but R2. The angle between these two values is 180 minus theta. Okay. Distance between the two centers is nothing but D. It is D. Okay. Here, now we find the length of the chord. Length of the chord is nothing but AB. Now we find the value of AB. Suppose say AB is equal to X. The length of the chord is equal to X. Every chord is bisected by the line segment joining these values. Suppose this is the C1, it is the C2, radical axis perpendicular to the line joining centers. That means the angle 90 degrees. That means this is the midpoint of the chord AB. Say this value is P. AP is equal to automatically, AP is equal to PB. That means AP is equal to X by 2. Please observe this point. AP is equal to X by 2. Say this is AP. This value is equal to X by 2. In this case, we find the value of X by using the area concept. Area of the triangle ABC is equal to, what is the area of the triangle ABC? Of base and height. Suppose C1, C2 is the base, what is the height? AP, that means X by 2. Area of triangle AC1, C2 is equal to, what is the value? Half into D into X by 2. That is equal to X by 4 into D into X. Okay. It is the area of the triangle AC1, C2. Suppose two sides and included angle is given, what is the area of the triangle? Of AB sin C, of BC sin A. By using that property, area of triangle C1, C2 is equal to half AB sin C. That means half of R1, R2 into sin. This angle is 180 minus theta. Sin 180 minus theta means sin theta. Half R1, R2 sin theta. It is 1, it is 2. By equating these two values, we get, what is the value of 1 by 4, 1 by 4 into dx is equal to 1 by 2 into R1, R2 sin theta. Okay. Here 2 times cancelled. What is the value of x? X is equal to 2 R1, R2 sin theta by d. 2 R1, R2 sin theta by d. But by using the cosine rule, what is the value of d? D square is equal to, by using cosine rule, a square is equal to b square plus c square minus 2bc cos a. Okay, that means d square is equal to r1 square plus r2 square minus 2r1 r2 into cos 180 minus theta. Cos 180 minus theta means minus cos theta. That means d is equal to root over r1 square plus r2 square plus 2r1 r2 cos theta. Substitute this value in this place, we get this value. Okay, please note this point. Proof. Please note the diagram. From the adjacent diagram, angle C1AC2 is equal to 180 minus theta. Let AB is equal to x. Let AB is equal to x. Then AP is equal to x by 2. Note this triangle separately. You note this diagram. Now, area of triangle AC1C2 is equal to half base into height. Base means d into height means x by 2. Okay. That is equal to 1 by 4 into dx. 1 by 4 into dx or xd. It is equation number 1. But area of triangle AC1CT is equal to half AB sin C, that is equal to half R1 R2 sin theta. By equating 1 and 2, we get 1 by 4 into dx is equal to 1 by 2 R1 R2 sin theta. 2 times cancel, that implies x is equal to 2 R1 R2 sin theta by d. But by using cosine rule, d square is equal to r1 square plus r2 square minus 2 r1 r2 into cos 180 minus theta. Cos 180 minus theta means minus cos theta, that is equal to r1 square plus r2 square plus 2 r1 r2 cos theta. Therefore, d is equal to under root r1 square plus r2 square plus 2 r1 r2 cos theta. That is equal to length of the chord is equal to 2 r1 r2 sin theta by root over r1 square plus r2 square plus 2 r1 r2 cos theta. Very, very, very important. Next, third point. Suppose the angle between the two circles is 90 degrees. Suppose the angle between the two circles is 90 degrees. That means theta is equal to 90 degrees. What is the length of the chord? Sin 90 is equal to 1, cos 90 is equal to 0. That means this equation can be reduced into 2 r1 r2 into 1 by root over r1 square plus r2 square plus 2 r1 r2 into cos 90 means 0. That means finally 2 r1 r2 by root over r1 square plus r2 square. Please note third point. Third point, let r1 comma r2 be radii of two orthogonally intersecting circles. Two orthogonally intersecting circles. Then the length of the common chord is equal to 2 r1 r2 by root over r1 square plus r2 square, since theta is equal to 90. Substitute the value of theta is equal to 90 in the above proof. Okay. Very, very important this formula also.